Hi, hey, YouTube, what's up? And Google Plus, what's up? Hey, man, this is 4th of July. It's Joe D. For a little review, less of a review, more than it is a campaign that Newcastle has going right now. For It was actually supposed to be for Independence Day Eve, which was yesterday. So I'm kind of missing the boat. I wanted to post this video on the 4th of July instead of July 3rd. But they really wanted it on yesterday because they have a hashtag Independence Eve for fans to post a video. Okay, so let's start with, if you've seen my open box, you know that I got a few goodies from them. Of course, we've got the Newcastle Brown Ale 2015. We've got the nice new glass from Newcastle. And we've got this card. And it's Newcastle's foolproof guide to, what is this, summertime misconceptions. So they have this campaign and they want to put out, they want to put to bed all these misconceptions about their brown ale. Okay, so inside here it says the top 5 misconceptions about summer. Okay, and it says the first misconception: your poolside selfies are flattering, and they look even better with filters. Okay, so that's a misconception about summer, right? Another one is flirting with a painful sunburn is acceptable as long as you are working on your base. Okay, so if you're, if you're all burnt up and you're trying to, be Mr. Mac Daddy with the ladies and you're as bright red as my shirt here, that probably ain't gonna work, right? If you're planning a Independence Day Eve grill out, you have to have a bunch of yellow beer on hand. Okay, and that's a misconception because they're a brown ale and they want you to try their ale, right? Another misconception: brown ales don't work during the summer. They're dark, they're heavy, bitter, and overwhelming. And that is their biggest misconception. They want to get you to try their brown ale because I love browns for one. I think browns are perfect. I think browns are even less in general. It's kind of hard to say that too, right? Because some browns are bitter, and that's what's difficult. American browns. The British browns, though, are typically nice and smooth, really malty, sweet, a little more roastiness, of course, because that's why they're brown. They're a little more roasty, but they have a better flavor to me. But it also says over here in this section, okay, we know that's not true, and so do you. Take one sip of our delicious and smooth Newcastle Brown Ale, and you'll immediately regret ever thinking it was heavy or at all unpleasant. You're an expert, so don't you already know that? Okay, but you'd be surprised how often we hear that. We hear those exact words from new fans. So we're working this summer to correct some terrible misconceptions about Newcastle Brown Ale, because once they try it, they know they've been wrong this whole time. There's a hilarious video on newcastlebrown.com and that's exactly how it's spelled: NEWCASTLE Brown, BROWN.com, that shows exactly what we mean. Fans who post videos using the hashtag Independence Eve, thanking Newcastle for the day off work because, England was kind enough to lose the Revolutionary War, could win an awesome prize. I could win an awesome vacation to London and many more prizes. Okay, so you post a video thanking them for their delicious brown ale and use the hashtag Independence Day Eve. I know I'm already a day late on this, but if you post the video, then you will be entered and you could win a vacation to London and many more prizes. So how cool would that be? We'd love to hear what you think on our Facebook page or at Newcastle on Twitter. So, of course, like everyone else, they are all over the social media. Um, and they did send this documentation as well, which is pretty much the same thing. So I'm not going to go over that. We'll cover a little bit about the beer. I already have a review on Newcastle. I've partnered with them before in the past. I think me and Mark Cinderson were actually able to do that review, or did we just drink the whole mini keg? I remember they sent one of those little mini kegs, and but in any case, on Beer Advocate, out of 4,689 ratings at the time of this review. Okay, let me go to the screen share. Let me go here, share Newcastle. Here we go. So at the time of this review, 4,689 ratings. It gets a 76, which is okay, but that's a crap load of ratings. It really is. The Bros give it a 67, which is poor. Its style is an English brown ale, 4.7% ABV. So it's not the 5%. So it's more of a sessiony beer. I don't see the IBUs on here. I don't see anybody else that has the IBUs. Let me go to my let's see if Wikipedia has it. Anybody else that, oh, Rate Beer might have it too. So let's check out these two really quick. See, now it is what, partnered or owned by? Let's see what they say here about Heineken. It's a subsidiary, right, of Heineken. Okay. Introduced in 1927. That's pretty cool to know. No IBUs here either, but they do have the calories, which are 141. So that's pretty good, estimated calories. So that's pretty good. We don't have any IBUs, but as I sample it here, we'll try to give you a general idea what the IBUs are. IBUs mean international bittering units. Okay, bitterness units. So let's get our snake bite. And for those of you who've seen my review on the snake bite, okay, so we'll get our snake bite. Clear bottle, so it's pretty much not going to be any different. Okay, so here we go. See if we get some smoke. Oh. No smoke, and I got beer on my flipping computer, so but it's all good, man. I have been dying to get my hands on one of these glasses, so I thank you very much to Newcastle just for sending the darn glass, because I think this glass is cool. So it ain't gonna look any different than it did in the bottle. As you know, it's gonna look the same, except that it's ready to drink, which is good. So you get a nice roasty smell. It's not as roasty as some of your American craft beers, but it's going to have a little more nose than a light lager. Okay. Oh. Oh. I would estimate that to be about, and I'm drinking this probably about 50 degrees. Now, one of the main differences is that you're going to be used to drinking beers close to freezing temperatures, okay? So close to 32 degrees. Coors actually advertises, please drink our beer at 32 degrees. They even have little blue indicators and stuff to make sure that you drink it at as close to that as possible, because your tongue will mask the flavors. The colder something is, the more it's masked, right? So the warmer it gets, actually, the more you taste that beer. These beers are kind of meant to be sampled Let me see. Let me see the recommended temperature. Oh, there is none. Wow, that's weird. Usually on Beer Advocate, they usually have a suggested temperature. Rate Beer don't have one either. Huh. Well, I'll tell you, I think my recommended temperature for drinking this beer would be somewhere around 50. Okay, because you're tasting just enough of it, and there's just enough of it that's mass, quite frankly. Okay, it's I think 50 is a really good temperature for a brown ale like this. Okay, um, it's to me it actually tastes like a brown version of a lot of your light lagers. Really, okay. It has a little more roasty flavor. There's a little sweetness in there, um, and a little bit of that bitterness that comes from having a clear bottle, quite frankly. I think that if I were to be able to sample this in a can, it would be an interesting comparison. And they do have some in a can, so if you find it, you might compare the two as well. Buy some in a clear bottle and in a can and see what the difference is. Mm. But it's a good beer, man. I give it one thumb up. It's not a two thumb. Sorry, Newcastle, but it's not a two thumb. It's a one thumb. Bing, bing, bing. Okay. Grab some of this on your way to a party. I'm actually supposed to be at a party in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to be late, obviously. But this would be a good one to grab at a party where you think there's going to be a lot of Bud and Miller Coors drinkers. Okay. Um, and take to that and bring something a little more, kind of raise the bar a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But enjoy your Independence Day from England. Okay. Be safe out there. Call Uber. If you get too hammered, man, you enjoy too many of these, call Uber. Don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Let's see everyone get back safe, man. Okay. So we'll see you guys. Peace out, man. Laters.